of the $1 million guarantee, Vic.
So excited.
Yeah, this one is a special. It's our 4-year anniversary. Our $1 million guaranteed tournament solely at the Reserve. This is the big enchilada, the Super Bowl of all, what can we say, tournaments ever that we've had?
Yes. Oh, yes. For us, absolutely. And certainly on a track to be another record breaker for us. You know, we've done a couple of millies before. They've been joint ventures with another room, but this time we're doing it wholly on our own. And like we said, this is day 1A that we are going to be commentating on, and we're going to get into the action here. Keep in mind that today is actually Friday, so out in the main room we've got day 1B going on, but we will be commentating on this day 1A. Go to thereservepoker.com and be sure to check out all the information we have on all of the satellites, because there's a satellite tonight and every night until the 12th. There's a satellite every night until the 12th at 7 p.m.
Vic, there was literally so many tables last night when I was here for the nightly satellite. I mean, you talk about great value for $60,
yeah,
roughly. And
I think it was it 16?
That was for going for the main
no,
flight.
Okay, but
no, there was well over probably 20 seats available for that. Definitely check that out. We are having satellites every single day for day 1, other than the very final day 1, because day 2 is the next day. But we got morning turbo satellites. We got regular satellites at night. We got our day 1s at 1 p.m. This is just a great start to a great adventure coming up. We're looking forward to it. Vic, are you getting ready to dive into this action?
I am.
Is the eye in the sky ready to dive in this action? Because I know we're jacked up on Mountain Dew. I know he is.
Where's my coffee? Here it is.
There it is. Oh, you're going coffee route today?
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to power you through this last year. So there it is, folks.
Think so.
We have Jeremy B., Jeremy H., Matthew W., Matthew R., Anton, Gregory, and Kathleen. And right now you can see the big stack at the table is at $290,500. We're going to get the blinds are now 15 and 3,000. So this is pretty much right after the second break. It looks like we had one break earlier, then we had a dinner break, so they're coming back. This is the nitty-gritty. This is when it starts to get a little intense, when the fields start to shrink a little bit rapidly. Some people say, Vic, the real poker starts when the re-entries can't come back in.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, this is and keep in mind, at a $600 buy-in, there's still some pretty tough poker going on before the end of late reg. But this is now it steps up a little bit. And anybody, for instance, Kathleen, if she's at 16 big blinds, she doesn't have to raise the red flag yet. She doesn't have to be panicked about that. You know, she can typically we say if you're dropping below 10 big blinds, then you're really looking for something where you can try to double up or even triple up. You're going to get really picky about your spot, really, about what you're going to do with that remaining, in her case, 47,000. Yeah. On the other end of that spectrum is Jeremy B., a.k.a. a good friend of ours, Jeremy Batis, and he is coming to this feature table with $290,500.
Wow, and look at that, Shane. That was 7 players we read off. They must have just broke a table 2 at this point.
Yes.
Shane coming over 351,500. What a great advantage when you're starting out. If you do the add-on, Vic, you start out with $60K, so just 2 I almost say 2 breaks. Let's say they're 5 levels each. You get a break. So in 10 levels, he's amassed from 60,000 up to 351.
And keep in mind, once again, folks, this is the feature table. So this is a feature table. So we still have at this point, I'm going to say 12 more tables in the other room.
Oh, we're going to see way more faces here as we break down. It's going to be exciting. We see some players who we've seen on the tournaments. We also have some out-of-towners, some first-time faces. It's going to be a good mixture, a good bag of tricks, as they say. And Shane, Vic, it's not even right. By the way, Eye in the Sky, if we can get the audio on, let's go hear what the people have to say at the table. But, man, oh, man, it has to be nice. The chip lead, you get pocket aces right after break. Life is good. Thinking about the Bahamas with that $250,000 coming your way. Ace queen suited for Matthew R. Looks like he's just going to smooth call this. Oh, yeah. And we got a jack high board, couple of hearts. Clean flop for Shane, and Matt just hoping. Actually, in a way, Vic, it's a blessing right now.
Yeah, for Matthew it is.
Unless you're going to go all in and ride completely dirty and you flop, maybe the nut flush draw or Broadway. That was a good flop for him to stay out of trouble.
Yes, and a disciplined fold there. I mean, most people, typically you're going to see people get married to that, and there you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got at least 8 tables here for day 1A, and people are lining up for that satellite. Satellite every night at 7 p.m.
There's Nick also.
With the exception of April 12th.
Nick doing a great job running the show yesterday. It was a grind, folks. This room was packed. You can see some tables that are broken down right now to the left of the screen, even one in the middle right there. But it was a packed house early on. We broke it down, and right when you start getting some room, boom, the satellite starts, and everything fills back up. Great electricity in the room. Jeremy B. also 6'4", and, well, the cement mixer, Vic. 9-4 for Greg says no, but look at this. We're getting some premiums early.
Right away on this feature table right after the main dinner break. Late reg is over for this day 1A.
And I was dealing yesterday, Vic, at these blind levels. 7,000 was the standard, I would say, I was seeing when it was 15 and 3. And he takes it down. Pretty easily, too.
Now, you've been dealing a number of downs already into this tournament, Dom, and when I walked in, I saw a number of new faces, or at least unfamiliar faces to me. Were you getting any conversation with the players in terms of where they had come from? Any interesting travels?
So this isn't, obviously, since we're in Toledo, Ohio, a state that you're going to be like, wow, that's crazy when I'm about to tell you this. But actually, from the state of Michigan, I heard more northern Michigan.
Okay.
I'm talking from like the opposite side.
Oh, okay.
Traveling 4 or 5 hours
Okay.
down here, a good amount, because they heard about the Millie. They made arrangements to stay for multiple nights, too. Not just, one day. They're staying for almost like 3 days this weekend, and then they're going to come back,
So
pretty much go to work and come back next
Ludington, Muskegon, kind of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was, there was 2 people from the UP. I kid you not. The good old Upper Peninsula, my favorite place in the world.
So Kyle now, pocket jacks, and, pretty much rightfully so, down to 40,000. It's time to push in. Gregory had raised things up to $7,000 with the blinds at 15, 3, and 15 with ace-jack of clubs.
Yeah, and he wants
and he is not going to go after that battle. So Kyle going to improve here with 13,000 in profit. So that's going to give him a little bit better breathing room. And as you mentioned, everybody's starting with 60,000.
So interesting situation there. Vic, the pushing with the jacks, that was really where you're hoping for a call, but if you don't shove right there, you don't want 2 callers with jacks. But taking it down, we've also talked about before where ace-jack, love raising with it, hate calling all-ins with it. Unless it's a low stack, of course. But a little redo, get the cards in the box. Oh, the Nemesis suited for Jeremy H. Oh, and Kathleen. Cat right behind with 10s, Vic. We might see action here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
There's a raise to $8,000 with the big blinds at 3,000, and rather than smooth call this, she's going to push all in with her 10s.
Even if she takes us down right now, Vic, with her chip stack size at 41K, this would be a big win for Cat. And I do think with Shane being the chip holder, if she would have just smooth called that 8, it would have priced him in with the suited ace to just see if he see the flop. She'd have been going.
Well, that's definitely in
3 ways.
Shane's wheelhouse. He definitely was. We've both dealt to Shane a lot. I've actually played against Shane, and that ace 2 of hearts for $4,000. Eight raised to $8,000, and he's on the small blind. He's definitely going to defend with that.
Yeah,
So
you're drawing to the nuts possibly.
Yeah. So you're right. It turns out to be a very good move on Kat's part, and everybody that comes to our live stream and watches us here on YouTube at the Reserve in Toledo, Ohio, you're probably quite familiar with Kat. She's been run deep in a number of tournaments here, been on the live stream. Same with Shane. Jeremy running well here, and Jeremy Betis, typically I would classify him as a cash player, and he likes tournaments when they're big. So he likes these big tournaments. We see him quite often when we've got the bigger tournaments, and he's a very savvy poker player. It's also fun to be at the table with. Here's ace queen for Jeremy.
Vic, we have not been shy of premium hands early on. This is just hand number 6. We've seen jacks multiple times. We've seen aces, ace queen twice. King jack keeps popping up left and right. I think this is the 3rd time out of 6 hands we've seen king jack.
Richard, you ask a very good question. I want to clarify that right away. This is a recording that we made yesterday for day 1A, so we did not put the restrictions on the players with regards to phones and smartwatches. So this is delayed a day, and so we did not put that restriction on them. So you are going to see players in some of these rebroadcasts that we do on their phones or with headsets on. And Jay, thanks for that comment. 2 clubs and a jack. And Jeremy Betis, excuse me, with the best of it. Anton. This pot is already up to 53.5.
Juicy.
And Anton's going to put the squeeze on here with a gut shot to the straight, pushing all in. This is a tough decision for Jeremy.
It's for all his chips.
It's for.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, it would be.
He has
It's not for all of his chips, but it still would. If he doesn't, if he thinks he's behind, this is going to take a big dent. And what a squeeze there from Anton! Wow.
Vic, I got to get back in the tournament calling action because I saw the 65,000 the call. For some reason, I thought that was his chips, but the chips are right next door.
Yeah.
We've been doing cash so many times. But there's the main lobby, and still a line for the satellite. Like I said, it is a great number of tables and opportunity. You don't even have to make the final 2 tables, and you can get a seat into this for $65.
Right there in the middle of your screen, Rodney, I got to do a shout out. It was his birthday, which is why he was all smiles, and I think someone there wishing him a happy birthday yesterday.
Jeremy H. now with King Jack again. It seems to be the hand of the hour right now.
And a suited ace here for Shane. He's going to call the raise in the cutoff. Oh, and Matt can't defend with the 9 deuce. Gets out of the way, so we got heads-up action. Jeremy H. and Shane. Nemesis versus a suited ace and a king right in the window.
Yeah, Jeremy's smacking it. 11,000.
Shane wants to see another card.
Yeah, non-believer here. Must be expecting possibly a C bet. That's not the case.
Oh, boy.
2 pair now. But look at that. That's a good card for Shane.
Yes.
He gets a lot more outs. He went from 3 to 7 with the nut flush draw. Action card on the turn.
A bet of 18-5. And really, with just the flush draw, he is going to make this call. And he's looking at 7 outs, potentially 9, but the computer knows the 2 of those. And he hits an ace, and that's going to be trouble for Shane. Potentially big trouble for Shane. Jeremy would be tempted to back off of this, thinking that maybe Shane straightened out with that ace or has a bigger 2 pair.
He's going to keep firing.
But he's going to keep firing.
I don't blame him. Sometimes when these blinds get big, you have to go for value. You can't wait around. You just got to hope you're running good. You hit the turn so big.
Oh, and he makes the call, and a big hand there for Jeremy H.
Yeah, nice pot.
And that is going to narrow the gap now on this feature table. Shane's still the leader with 296, but takes a big dent right behind him. Jeremy Betis with 268 and Jeremy H. with 244. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Reserve Poker Club in Toledo, Ohio, our $1 million prize pool guarantee. 4-year anniversary celebration. This is day 1A.
Someone is going to walk away with at least $200,000 for first place. Vic and I have been talking about it. I believe we're going to hit $250,000. Oh, God, again now. Aces.
Yeah.
Popping up left and right. And the little spritzer, little min click from Kyle makes it 6,000. Trying to bait somebody. Sometimes when you're first act and you get aces or kings, you do that min click, you're just hoping someone puts on the squeeze. Shane going to come along too. The cutoff +1.
And Anton certainly is going to make this call. He's going to protect the big blind with an ace. So maybe not exactly what Kyle was looking to have 3 callers going into this pot with aces. And Kerry comes on and says yay, so I take it, Kerry, you're rooting for Jeremy H.
Oh, great flop for Kyle. 2 players hitting their 10. Could see some action here.
And Anton with middle pair. But he checks that, and Kyle now comes out with his continuation bet of 8,000.
And a really small bet. With 3 other
That is a pretty small bet.
3 other people in the hand with you. Just keeping all those danglers around.
Shane now raises it up to 30,000. And maybe this is what Kyle was waiting for, because then he pushes all in and he gets Jeremy H out of this, and Shane had just been in a tough hand the hand before with Jeremy H.
Yeah, and it's only 17,000 the call. This is pretty much going to be automatic for him.
And he's going to need some help.
Behind. Yeah, he's shaking his head, but he knows he can't fold. So this is a nice size pot. 129,000 in the middle. Big hand here, Kyle, hoping to survive. You saw King 10 get folded, so one of the 10s go in the muck. 4 outs remain. Here we go.
Fast Eddie.
Oh, now the flush draw for the aces. Oh, but 2 pair on the river
Wow.
for Shane. Kyle getting up. Man, he even was blocking it with the flush draw on the turn. Shane still got there, and just like that, Vic, he's approaching just shy of 400K.
And if you look up at the top right-hand corner of your screen, you can see that 162 entries today. 16 players will advance on to day 2. We are now down to 65 for this flight. We'll play this down to 16 players tonight, but Dom and I are just here bringing you a taste of the action, letting folks at home see their loved ones, friends, neighbors, and cousins play here. So we're just doing a few hours each night. We're so glad you decided to join us tonight here at the Reserve. And be sure to join us every night. We'll be going live right around the same time, right around 6:30, 6:45 every night, and bringing you more action throughout. And then we'll go live on the 12th. On the 13th. And that'll be the day 2. That will be all of these day one's qualifiers sitting in to play on day 2, and then that'll play down to 10 players, and that'll be day 3 on April 14th.
Yeah, looking forward to that one, Vic. Got heads-up action here. Queen 7 versus Ace 7. 10 high board.
This is going to come down who bets, I think.
Aggressor with queen high. Takes it down.
Yeah.
Nice bluff.
Aggression pays off in this game. Carrie says, LOL, actually didn't. She doesn't know Jeremy. She was just saying yay because she was able to get online. Well, yay. Yay,
we're glad
Carrie.
You're here, Carrie.
We're going to yay for you as well.
Catfish in the house.
Yeah,
Brian
Catfish.
Certain people, like when they
Richard, Wendy,
Yeah, Jay.
Jay, T-Bold.
Oh, yeah, representing Trenton. Yeah, we wish you were
Mark
down here
Woods.
too, buddy. Onward toward the action. Like I said, we are down to 64 players, so just one more player getting eliminated. We will get a fresh face on this live stream. Cat now. Pocket threes. Looks like she's reaching for raisin chips. She's going to make it 12,000. Getting after it.
Yeah, that's good pot control, I think. You know, trying to get a bet out there with those threes early on. You know, if somebody makes a huge jam there, she's in a position to be able to let that go. But it goes all the way through, so she improves her stack.
Yeah.
Just in time to become the big blind.
She got a free roll.
Yeah.
There's
So
the
what
main
you're
lobby.
seeing in the up close to us, those tables are for the satellite, and the satellite is every night at 7 o'clock, except for the 12th of April. And then we are doing a morning satellite every morning until Wednesday of next week. So the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, morning satellite.
Vic, I know I saw myself at table 10, and I have to share with everyone what happened at table 10.
Okay.
yesterday. I was dealing table 10. I sit down. There's a high hand for $20 you can get in. It's always over $1,000. A gentleman got a royal flush. Didn't do it. Wasn't in. Didn't qualify. All of a sudden, I sit down. About the 7th hand I deal on that down, and he didn't get in after he got the royal flush. So he didn't I dealt him a queen high flush.
Oh, my goodness.
So he didn't play the high hand, got a royal flush and a queen high flush.
Wow. Queen high straight flush.
Queen high straight flush.
Right after a royal flush.
The royal was on with another dealer.
Right.
But it
Several
was
hands.
still being talked to. Like right when I sat down
Yeah.
at the table, they were still giving him guff about it. And then all of a sudden, I give him a queen high straight flush,
Oh, boy.
and I'm just like thinking, like, "Hey, you're buying in for $600, and you don't throw 20 in the high hand. What's the difference between 620 and 600?" But I thought that. I didn't say it too verbally because I was in the box. But I think we can all agree there.
Yes. When you come to play in the reserve at one of these flights, keep that in mind. Put a $20 bill in your sock. Save that for the high hand. We do that in these big tournaments. The high hand then is for that particular flight. So you'll know by the end of the flight whether your high hand is going to hit, and you get some good numbers on there, 1,200, 2,500 from time to time for those high hands. Not something we typically do throughout the week.
No.
So
not
it's kind of a
regular thing.
special thing, and
They're fun.
yeah, the players respond well to it.
Pocket eights in the house for Gregory. Ace Jack for Jeremy. So definitely have some hands here that might be interested in a flop. Pretty polite so far.
Yeah, Jeremy and Greg both limping. Blinds at 15-3, 1,500 on the ante, and here's a raise to 16,000. So better than 5x. Easy decision there for Shane. Jeremy Batis, not a fan of calling light out of position. But back over to Gregory now.
He might shove.
And he does. He's going to shove. And just a tenth of Jeremy's stack here to make this call.
I would say we
A little
talked
more than that.
We mentioned earlier, Vic, about Ace Jack not loving the call all ins unless it's a low stack. This is a situation where it's about as low as you're going to get. Anything under a starting stack now, you're getting a pretty good price with Ace Jack, a chance to accumulate chips but not risk too much, especially in Jeremy's shoes. 22.5 more. Yep, and we're going to see a flip here. Hand number 12.
Yeah, if you got a coin handy, toss it in the air, and that'll tell you which one is going to be the winner here so far.
Yeah, heads or tails, Vic? What do you got?
But this is Gregory's all-in moment for flight 1A.
I'll take heads for eights because it's my favorite hand. You can have tails.
All right.
And right now,
It's
eights
holding
did
up.
hold. Oh, there's an
Oh.
8 on the turn. That's
Yep.
all she wrote.
That's the check mark. So new life here for Gregory.
Yeah, up to 86K. Has to be feeling pretty good. One double up away of becoming a contender. You really want to try to get around at least 150K at these blind levels, or you're feeling a little bit comfortable. You can play normal poker. It's not just a shove fest. And there's the satellite area. Starting up. Ripping and roaring. All those players just came in. And that's not all the tables, folks, for the satellite. That is a section. It's a great turnout. I'm telling you, poker is in the air. If you're not in the Toledo area, too, it is the definition of poker weather. It's like muggy out, partly cloudy, 50 degrees, rainy. Makes you just want to stay inside and play some cards. Oh, it's aces again now.
Fourth time?
Yeah, they're not letting up.
7,000.
Couple of easy folds. Oh, and Cat with ace jack on the button. And he made it a standard sizing of that 7,000 I talked about, Vic, what I saw during this blind level yesterday while dealing. And it looks like Jeremy's going to come along, too, with the suited 9-8 three-handed. Six high board. Clean so far for Matthew.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in, we saw aces cracked not too long ago. Shane hitting 2-pair on the river.
11,500.
Matthew bets 11-5. No one else really has anything here. So he's going to take that down and improve his position. With 62 players remaining of the 162 entries today, and everybody starting with 60,000 in chips. Average chip stack right now is 156,774. So really the focus when you're in this situation, this isn't a day 2 or this isn't a day 3 where you're looking at climbing up. You're looking to get a bag. You're looking to get a bag to move on to day 2, and then with many opportunities between now and then to enter another flight and potentially multi-bag. Every second, third, every additional bag that you hit is $3,000 paid to you right there. So I'm sharing this because I think sometimes somebody will, they're probably looking up at the screen right now, besides looking at the time that's left in the flight. In this, they're looking at what the average chip stack is. And don't necessarily have to get too worried. Say when you're, give you an example here of Gregory at 86,000. Now he's putting in his small blind 81,500. But when you're sitting in that situation, you really want to compare notes to how many big blinds you have. Keep in mind that when you're in the big blind, you're also putting in the ante. And Dom and I have talked about this quite a bit in tournaments, that you really semi-comfortable area is 20 big blinds. You get to 12 or 10 big blinds, you're starting to feel a little nervous, and certainly once you're down to 8 or below, you're looking for an opportunity to try to shove and double or triple up.
Jeremy now ace queen. Bumps it up, looks like right around 8,500, and that's what it is.
Jeremy has been on kind of a run good here in terms of getting good cards. And Shane, position bet here. He's going to 3-bet this to 25-5. Putting Jeremy H to the test here.
And a quick call.
A quick call.
No hesitation. 57K in the middle, hand number 15. And wow.
Wow.
Can you ask for an action flop with top pair versus a flush draw victory cigar? We can see, though, 5 outs only remain for Shane, as many of the clubs were already in the muck from players folding their hands.
I really like this bet here from Jeremy. I think you really have to put something out there to figure out. You've got to get some information as to where you're at. So Shane just making the smooth call here. And that is no help to Shane, still with 5 outs. And there's the all-in from Jeremy.
I think with ace-queen, definitely got the information. It was a little strange with just the smooth call. Probably put alarms up with Jeremy. There was that much in the pot. You just smooth call 35. If you had a really big hand, most likely would have come over the top with the straight and flush draw out there. He's going to go with his gut instinct, put him to the test. Shane did not pick up any more outs on the turn. Even if he didn't hit a club, a 9 would have been nice. Even a queen for a gut shot. That 5 of hearts didn't open up anything.
Shane now running back in his mind from pre-flop to flop.
I think right now he's trying to avoid temptation, Vic.
Yeah.
130, it's like the willpower.
Well, he really has no other redraw. It's just the flush. And, if he's doing the calculation raw, then, yeah, he's got 9 outs. But the computer knows that 4 of those are gone, so it's really just 5 outs. It'd be another thing if he had, this flush draw, also a straight or a gut shot. or had a pair, but he's going to let this go.
Nice fold.
And a good fold. And these two have gone at it now in the early moments of this featured table of day 1A.
Definitely setting the tone early. Little rivalry.
I play with them everywhere. I play that MSPT with them. 2 and 4. They went around, cleaned out.
Yeah, we got some more people joining us. We want to thank you very much. We are the Reserve in Toledo, Ohio.
On a rare Friday.
On
Live.
a Friday, no less. Yeah.
Right, normally we have the free roll.
And we'll be here tomorrow night as well, right around 6:30, 6:45. We'll be giving you a few more hours every night
all the way to
of
the
tournament
13th.
action.
Or the 14th, should I say.
Yeah.
11 days of poker. It's almost like counting down for Christmas.
And Jeremy H., look at this now. Queens. Blinds have gone up now, 2,000, 4,000 with a $2,000 ante.
And if I'm sitting at his table right now, I'm almost thinking I'm going to just wait it out for one more level and let this heater cool down.
You know, certainly we've talked about that time and time again, that when a player gets hot, you really got to question making calls with marginal hands or coming into a pot with someone like that.
I like the aggressive play here, too. Everyone's been making it 8,500. He even made it earlier. They made it 7,000. He just won a big hand. Looks like he's getting possibly some people at the table a little cocky, and he overbets a little bit, making it 12K. Try to get maybe a loose call. Make it count. But nice job by Jeremy. Running good, playing good early on this day 1A.
Does Pre still play? Who? Pre? I've heard of him, but I've never played with him. He's like it looks just like Magic Johnson. Yeah, that one dude that he's a funny guy.
Queen 10, King 10, cousin hands.
Some kind of weird name. Short out. Something like that. He's funny.
Does he think the heater's going to continue?
You play the big field of the Yeah. Oh, you do? No, me? Yeah.
Just a call.
Just a call here.
I was kind of curious to see if he was going to bump it up maybe to like 10K, just kind of keep the same betting pattern. This time he just smooth calls.
It was fun, but good times. They're in a different league, man. Yeah. Definitely.
This opens it up for Anton if he wants to put on the squeeze.
Which
That-
we've seen him do.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was going to try to take it down now, but at the same time, I will admit when you see a guy running like Moses, like Jeremy has, and he limps in an early position, the sniffer has to be up, wondering if he's just trying to be sneaky. Right here, this misses everybody.
Everybody. Jeremy Batis now with the pocket threes.
Yeah, put it on. Oh, he elects to check. I was about to say, he's got the table image right now. Represent that ace if everyone checks.
And still, everybody misses here with the deuce.
All right, everyone's being polite, it looks like. Oh, here comes Jeremy. Yeah, if nobody wants the pot, I'll take it.
Yeah.
20,000.
Why not?
This looks like a pretty good raise here.
Now
like
that's how you play threes, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, and not to mention there's 2 straight draws, 2 flush draws, so it's a nice spot where if you want to do a semi-bluff, you can get aggressive. It's justified.
Yeah.
If you're looking at that board.
Tommy? That Tommy? Medina? From where? He's from Jackson originally, but he lives in
And some of the people joining us recently, we've got...
had a surgery, lost a lot of weight, but he's got
oh, I tried this once before. Didn't I screw up this name once before?
What?
Ray
Nathan?
Nathan? Okay. And Anxious Royal, hello. Thanks for joining us, Catfish. We appreciate it. Appreciate those comments.
Yeah, smash that like. Also, if you have a Facebook or an Instagram, feel free to hit that share tab. Word of mouth is something we rely on, and if you don't mind sharing this stream on your page, always appreciate it. Kath with the old 7-deuce suited. Easy decision. Shane's going to take a timeout. Probably a little frustrated with what happened in the last 20 minutes, but at the end of the day, he's up to 306. Running really good. Still with the chip lead at this feature table. Got to be happy with where you're at. But yeah, he was teetering, getting close to 400K earlier. Dangerous player.
It's like a bomb pot, but you go, like say everyone puts in $500 to start, and there's 9 people. If you want to play your hand, you got to put in 4,500. It's called match, but there's no raise, nothing. You just either play it or you fold.
And we got folds all around. Looks like Matthew's going to take that one down at 8K to a stack. Bumping it up with the old 9-7 offsuit. Respect.
The question is, where can I buy the R hat? And I tell you what, that's a great segue. We love to talk about the swag we have here for purchase. We've got a whole wall full of it. We've got T-shirts, we've got the zip downs, we've got hoodies, and we've got hats, and we've got backpacks. And they are handsome, and I do like that R hat. There's been a couple of iterations of it, but pretty much it's the same, and there's different colors. The one Eddie's got on, I think, is one of the originals that we had starting out 4 years ago. It's already been 4 years, ladies and gentlemen. What a journey here at the Reserve.
That is kind of crazy how quick 4 years go. I still remember when I wasn't even working here, hearing about a card room opening up called the Reserve. Came in a couple times. We even had a Dwayne Invitational. It was the first ever Dwayne Thompson Invitational tournament. I wasn't even working here. I called up Jim and Marissa. Said, yeah, we'll put it on. I said, yeah, we got a group of friends who'd love to play a poker tournament. And probably made one of the best tournament promo picks, and they put it on the Facebook page. I was laughing for about 10 minutes straight when I saw it with Dwayne in the picture, and then he added some background and a couple other things, to say the least. Well, here we go. 3-bet up to 50K. Anton with pocket kings. Ace-queen suited. Jeremy gets rid of the suited ace-9. And looks like Matthew's not going to think twice about letting go of the ace-queen. Nice fold, and he shows the Cowboys.
Oh, and he shows them. Yes, we do not have that capacity, the capability for our swag online. I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that we are, in the midst of a move, a relocation, an expansion, and we will more than likely be the next time you see us commentating a cash game in mid to late April. That is going to be in our new location, and with that is going to come a number of really cool things going on here at the Reserve, not only with regards to our schedule, but the facility as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if some efforts are made to take our swag to another level.
Folks, I'm going to say this because I have a little bit of adrenaline going. The new room is getting close. I'm going to say it. We don't have an official date, but I'll just say this. It's close. And I went in there and I saw those giant 85-inch TVs getting stacked up. And I'm talking, if you're a person who likes poker and you like an atmosphere with the games on and just good conversation. I've been in the poker field. I've worked at multiple casinos. I've worked in multiple card rooms. I normally say some things and embellish sometimes when I get excited. I'm being 100% genuine right now. No embellishment. This is going to be the nicest poker room in the Midwest, bar none. Mark my words.
Absolutely.
And I'm even going to say, just because I haven't been to all the rooms across the United States and whatnot, so I don't want to talk for, on stuff I'm not 100% sure on, but this will be top 5, top 10 in the nation.
Yes.
And I can say that with confidence.
Absolutely.
Marco goes all in with ace-jack. Anton gets rid of the king-queen. I have to say this.
So, Carrie, real quick to Carrie, I want to repeat this again real quick because she was asking. Carrie's asking about the phones. In our typical live stream, we do not allow phones. We do not allow smart watches. This is recorded from yesterday. So we tell the players that that particular rule, they don't have to follow it because this is not a 15-minute delay. This is actually a 24-hour delay.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about someone going out right now and checking their phone from 15 minutes earlier.
Right.
So that's why that rule is kapush.
And we wanted to be able to do this for our viewers and our listeners to be able to bring a few hours of the tournament activity, the tournament action, if you will, every night. So we'll be here every night for a few hours, and we're looking forward to more and more action as we go along.
So what I wanted to get to right there with Anton, and by the way, we've seen him play on here, a.k.a. Tony Paco.
Yes.
I don't know where but he's a good player. So before I say this, I'm just disagreeing with what he's doing right now, and he doesn't always do this. But he's had two hands since we've sat down. And he showed kings one time, and then he showed a tighter fold with king-queen suited. Don't get me wrong. And it's not like he was ahead at the time. I'm not knocking folding king-queen. You don't have to get married to it. But this is where you're playing a big buy-in tournament. Keep the mystery, so if you get your rush of cards, I just don't like showing on the norm, especially when you're not involved in a lot of hands.
Yeah.
If you're involved in a lot of hands, sure.
And we got a big one here because we got 3 players with a jack, and they hit a jack right in the window.
Open-ender, too.
And check it around to a pretty good-sized pot. And now Shane has the straight draw as well as second pair.
Yeah, multiple straight draws, open-enders, gut shots, you name it, we have it.
And Greg is open-ended. Anton, excuse me. Anton is open-ended. Very interesting hand. Wow.
Yeah, it was checked around on the flop. And hopefully Anton, by showing his kings, by showing the king-queen, maybe this can pay off for him where he gets a semi-bluff through with just a pair of tens. As much as I don't like the showing of cards, you can't ignore that sometimes it does help you in a situation like this. What he was doing does help him. And he does take it down. And that one, though, he doesn't show. Look at he shows the goods.
Yeah.
He doesn't show that one. That would make me a little suspicious of that hand. And there is the satellite, like we said. And we were talking about the swag shop right there.
There it is. There's the
swag area, and then the hats and whatnot are right behind the counter where you register and whatnot there on display. We're even going to have we're going to have a whole swag shop section.
Yes.
Basically a shop in the new facility. It won't just be a section on the wall. It'll be like a whole area that will be expanded. I'm sure Marissa will be on that, making sure it's perfect.
Dare I call it a gift shop?
Yeah, we'll throw it a gift shop. We'll throw it a gift shop.
I don't know if she's going to like that because that implies that there's going to be other things.
I mean, she's got to expand at one time or another, right? I mean, I think we should get card protectors and stuff like
card
that
protectors.
too, and little reserve ones.
Little bells, little ducks.
Maybe a Jim
ducks,
bobblehead.
A Jim bobble. Oh yeah, we need a wizard bobblehead.
Dude, get a wizard bobblehead.
Absolutely.
People can use that as card protectors.
Under the gun, Gregory's going to raise this up to 10 grand, a little better than 2x. And so far, no takers, but Shane, suited king. In the small blind, Jeremy Betis going to protect his big blind. I am not surprised. Jeremy does not like to be pushed around, and here comes the flop. And it's a good one for Shane.
Yep, coming out swinging top pair. Got burned by king or jack 10 earlier. Got it in bad, but then got the lady luck on his side. Rivered 2 pair. He's got a little run good with tens. And Gregory not giving up with this ace king. Says no, no, no. I like this move by Shane. He's putting him to the test. I don't think he's putting him possibly on ace king more, maybe queen jack, open ender with a couple overs. Realizes he's at risk. takes it down, and a win is a win. And Shane, just like that, getting some back. He's up to 331. This is where I won't be surprised if Shane makes day 2, though. It's going to be really hard. He's active enough where, don't get me wrong, he can go down to like 200K, 190K, but he would switch gears. This is a dangerous situation for everyone at the table, although he's at 331. He's basically got 100K that he can play with at his disposal.
Vincent says, don't forget Little Buddha's card protectors. And I could see if we could work out a deal with Buddha, even though he doesn't have the name licensed, but we have Little Buddhas with an R on the belly.
That will sell.
The big bold R on the belly.
But then if we do that, we're going to have to get a Bob one too, and then they're going to compete on sales. You know, Bob's going to demand it. If Buddha has one, Bob has to have one.
Oh, MGM Bob.
Yes, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
And then you know it's going to be a competition. They're going to keep track of the sales and everything.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Probably do side bets on like who has to buy like Chinese food or something like that.
Now there's a bobblehead for you, MGM Bob, with a really cool. You could get it with accessories like 2 or 3 extra Hawaiian shirts to go with it.
You'd have to have a button where he speaks French. We can't say the words what the bobblehead will say right now on air, but you can use your imagination. We're trying to keep it PG-13.
Yeah. Marco's been really quiet, and he's going to raise this to 10 grand.
And Jeremy, ace queen suited, just getting the cards early on. There's been 23 hands, and I think he's had at least out of 23, 6 or 7 hands, almost like 1 out of every 3.
Yeah.
He's getting ace queen or better. You gotta love when you're getting the rush when the blinds are getting a little bit bigger. Oh, and here it goes. Jeremy says, you know what? If I can shut this down now, there's already enough in there.
Absolutely. This is a wonderful time to wake up with ace king.
Yeah, nice squeeze.
It's got some...
This is going to be the situation for Jeremy, though. I think it's still too... because it's pretty much his whole chip stack. He might be sensing this as a squeeze. Hopefully it doesn't get wrapped up with the ace-queen suited. Gotta believe that's just too big of a price at this time of the tournament.
And the proverbial parking lot hand, ace-queen, goes into the muck. Now, Cat, just down to 27,000. She would need this all in to call. Pocket deuces. I don't blame her thinking about it, but I also feel like it's very important to fold those deuces in that situation.
At
And now-
27,000, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna let it rip.
You would let it rip with the deuces? All
At
right.
27, here's the thing.
All right,
Vic.
all right. Wait, we got to go. Now we got to go to the live chat. We got to ask folks. Hopefully you just watched that hand. You saw the action.
Yeah.
There was a raise to 10 grand. I believe there was 3, maybe 4 callers.
Cat had the deuces, right?
Cat had the deuces.
Yeah.
It comes around to the small blind. Jeremy Betis. Now, take into account the table image. He's been pretty quiet, and you got to wonder. You got to look at him and say, well, he must be doing something right to get that stack. And it comes around to her. She's got deuces, and there's 27,000 left in her
But
stack.
she called 10, right?
She called the 10.
So here's the thing. The whole situation is you don't call the 10 then. You're not going to call. I'm not calling off a third, a fourth of my stack when
Right.
I'm low stack if I'm not prepared to go to war. And not only that, but you had a 10, a call, I call. There's another 10 in there.
Mm-hmm.
You're down to 27,000 where it's 2 and 4. So now 8,000's going around the orbit. So even if she doesn't get a hand by the time, she's going to be below 20K.
Yeah.
That's why in that situation I let it rip. I actually think the protection is doing you a favor. You're getting a great price for your money. Granted, you can have a bigger pair, but if it's a situation like ace-king, ace-queen pulling on a squeeze like we just saw, you're flipping. But you're flipping for a way better bargain.
Yeah. I love the feedback we're getting. We've got slam dunk call. We got good fold. Yeah, I'm all in, says Catfish. Nick says I would go for it.
And even if, here's the thing, you're getting 5-1 on your money. So if she's at 20%,
Yeah.
even if an overpair, you're getting the right price.
Right.
Being low, like I said, look at the chip stack sizes.
Yeah.
Now you have 27 back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going, if she won that pot, she would be around 100K because there's all that dead tens in there.
Yes, right.
Not quite 100K.
Not
but
quite 100K.
She had 37.
Yeah.
There was at least
So there
another
would be Jeremy's 37. There would be another 30. So yeah, it would be close to 100.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah, like I said, stack size, blind levels all come into play. I'm letting the deuces rip, especially when everyone else folded and it's just you. You're getting protection. But yeah, here we go. Next hand in order, Marco with mid pair. I'm really impressed with Marco's game too. I've gotten to see him play multiple times at the reserve. I've dealt to him. I've commentated him. Talk about a consistent player.
Very consistent. Yeah. He's got his work cut out for him right now. We are down to 55 players. Everybody starting with 60,000. So there's 9,700,000 in play. Butch, the average chip stack now. What is that? Close to 200,000. Let me do the math. I'll pretend like I'm not using my calculator.
Now, Rain Nathan, I actually has an interesting thought too with 10,000. If you're gonna call a 30 or stack, she should have been the one to shove. I'm not against that either. And then hopefully you're thinking maybe someone comes over the top like what happened, and you get all that bang for your buck. Heads up. Like I said, I personally would have just let go of the twos for 10,000 though there if I didn't feel them. I know it's tempting to try to see if you can hit a set and get paid off, but with that amount in front of you, just 37, it's pretty much all in or nothing.
Now I have, we talk about our favorite hands and our least favorite hands. I have kind of a distaste for pocket twos.
The Mighty Ducks.
So with a raise to 10,000, and I think it was 2 callers, and then I'm looking down at pocket twos, I'm probably folding them there anyway. Before I'm not even putting in the 10. So, but if I had put in the 10, then I'm probably going to make that call. Put my day 1A tournament life at stake here.
Yeah, interesting though. I'm glad we got a hand that everyone was interested in talking about. Once again, if you even see a hand that you want to bring up, please. If you're new to this live stream, we strive to try to you, the listener, the viewer, to have as much interaction with who watches the show as possible, more than any other poker live stream on YouTube. We take great pride in that. So please let it rip on the message board if you want anything brought up. I'm not saying sometimes the action so far it gets kind of crazy and we can't get to it right away, but we at least try when we get pauses to circle back to it and address it.
A couple good comments here as well. I like All-Star's comment about not really playing for the outcome. I agree, and that took me a long time. I've been playing Hold'em now for close to 30 years, and I enjoy the game, and I put effort into it. I'm not going to say I'm a good player, bad player, whatever, but I have a passion for it. And I have to say that early on playing this game, I was more
all in,
focused on results, and it took me a while to learn that you can play well and lose, and you can play poorly and win, and it's not good to play poorly and win because it forces you into, you create bad habits.
So Gregory's all in for 37K low stack, and Anton now is pondering it over. Judging by what we've seen with the King Queen, I'm about to say I think that was a little bit of show. He knew he was folding that one. Marco now, though, a little bit of a discount. Stays away with the weak ace.
Jeremy is doing the pump fake there.
I love it. Set the tone.
They know each other quite well. Two local guys here in Toledo, and been playing around the Toledo area for many years, as has Shane, Kat, and with the Millie, we were talking about it earlier. Came into the room today, and boy, did I see a lot of new and unfamiliar faces. There are people coming from all over to play in this tournament.
Yeah, a little background about Jeremy. I got to chat with him, Vic, yesterday. He's doing very well. He's been going to Florida playing some huge PLO cash games.
Jeremy B.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
really,
yeah.
I'm not going to give all his business because I don't.
No.
But I'll just say they're really big PLO games, and he's having very good success. So good for him. I love hearing players doing well in the area. And yeah, if you're going all the way to Florida for the games, they must be pretty juicy. But yeah, bravo to Jeremy, and good luck on your future endeavors there. Well, speaking of Jeremy H now, we have two of them at the table. Keeps his onslaught going, hand after hand, it seems, Vic.
Yeah.
This is a habit where, once again, he's getting the goods. King, queen. Raise it up to 11,000. Cat A7. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Brian Smith, this is day 1A, so this was recorded yesterday. We're going to do just a few hours each night to give everybody some poker action, get to see their friends, family, cousins, neighbors here on the live stream.
Brian Smith, who you guys might be familiar with, did commentate here a few times, made all the fixins popular.
All the
live
fixins.
all the fixins.
All the fixins, Brian. I love
all
it.
the fixins, Brian. That was one of his patent.
Here's a nice pot. 46,000 in the pot. 4 players.
And we got a 4 queen jack board, rainbow. And Jeremy H continues to run very well. This is a tough spot for Marco to checking, not even putting a feeler bet out there. And I don't blame him. There's still players behind. But you got a guy who just keeps winning pot after pot. You flop mid-pair, top kicker. I will say, though, there being 4 players seeing this flop, I'm a little bit easier to be a believer right here. That someone hit that a little bit better than I did.
Also, I love the comment, in NFL, defense wins, but in poker, offense wins. Absolutely.
I'd say that in college, man. The NFL with QB rules right now. Don't get me started on that one, Vic.
Okay, I won't.
Yeah, oof. You blow on a guy, you get a 15-yard. Yeah, this is where Marco...
Well, here's the thing, Dom. I think, with Jeremy getting so many good starting hands, and he's playing so many hands, that's going to put doubt into players' minds, particularly since he's not showing. Let's see if he makes a liar out of me. No, he doesn't show.
I love the no-show.
And so the thought process is, and I know we've all been there, is you're looking across the table at the guy and you're going, well, he can't have it every time.
By him not showing, he is just setting himself up. If he keeps this rush of cards alive, Vic, he is going to get paid off more than anyone at this table. He's been aggressive pre-flop, post-flop. He's putting frustration, even though the players can't verbally say it right now, or they're electing not to. There's definitely some frustration when you see one guy just keep stacking up pot after pot. I mean, he's more than doubled his stack since we started this live stream.
Yeah.
It's almost up to 300K.
And it's interesting, different players' perspectives when there's a player that's going through that at this table, and there is a distinction between aggression and bullying. And we've all been there. We've all been at a table, where someone is just doing bullying for bullying's sake. It's their style. They love the action. They can't resist it. And oftentimes those players, I would say not often, but oftentimes those players don't know how to reel it in. They don't know how to mix up the game. So that's different than when you see someone that's, consistently being aggressive. Either way, it does put that thought in your mind. You're thinking, man, there's just no way. Maybe he's just full of BS the whole time. In the meantime, Marco in position on the button, pocket jacks. Matt had raised to 11,000 with the blinds at 2, 4, and 2. And those jacks, Marco is going to push all in with his remaining 68,000.
Matthew now Now pocket sevens.
Average chip stack now right at about 180,000. And again, not necessarily what your focus needs to be at this point. More about how many big blinds do you have? What is your position?
He's going to make the call. Keep him
And
honest.
he's going to make the call, and Marco's going to be substantially ahead going to this flop.
Yep, those are the goods right now. The hooks, a commanding lead, 74% the hold. All right, here we go. Nice pot. 144 in the middle.
And Matt will be left with 62.5 if he can't get a 7 here.
It's clean. Still clean.
Still clean, and
Survival.
wow.
And a nice double up from Marco.
Yeah,
and
new breath of life here for Marco.
put the other table on notice now. He's just shy of 150K at 144. Dangerous player. Getting some ammunition. Locker mode, Vic.
And if you're just joining us, we are the Reserve in Toledo, Ohio. Our $1 million prize pool guaranteed tournament, $200,000 guaranteed minimum to first place. And we got this all started yesterday. You're looking at day 1A. Recorded this yesterday, and we're going to be bringing you action from this feature table every night for a few hours. Typically 6:30, 6:45 for about 2.5 to 3 hours. We hope that you can continue to join us each night. And when you do, please hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, also please do. That's the great thing about subscribing and hitting that bell. You'll get the notification that says, hey, wake up, Reserve's going live. Go check out what Vic and Dom are up to tonight.
We will have an occasional appearance from our partner Brian, who's going to do a day one with Vic, and Frenchie's going to do a day one also. It's going to be a fun-filled day, well, not even just a week, more than a week for the whole team.
Yeah.
And then the eye in the sky just doesn't get a breathe. He's just going to be running the show every day, making sure everything's up to law and order and his standards. Keep the beard clean. I'm sure Denise will bring in good snacks for him, though.
You know, I don't know. I know he can hear us, but I'm thinking we got to put something together for him special at the end of this. You know, a day at the spa, you know, a pedicure, manicure.
A
Jeremy
beard trimming?
H., look, we're just talking about how he's on such a run good now, picks up pocket kings. Going to 3-bet this now.
This is tough.
To 35,000 over to Cat, a suited ace. Probably her all-in moment here. She is in the big blind. She's going to be left here with just under 4 big blinds in that stack if she makes this fold. And she does make the fold. She's waiting for a better opportunity. Anton had raised this up. Now he's looking at a weak ace.
The old saying, punish the limpers. And he's going to make the call. All right. Well, we just saw ace-3 go in the muck, but we've seen stranger things. Anton need a little run good, either a wheel draw or the ace. And right now he does hit a 3. A little bit more life. But still a clean board for Jeremy.
And
overall.
right now it's looking like a good fold for Cat. From our perspective.
He just keeps pouring it on, showing no mercy, too. Is he going to get a frustration call? And he does. This is strictly a frustration call. You keep bullying us out of pots. I'm making a stand. And I won't be surprised with 71 behind. He just says all in as he looks at Anton's stack. And it's going to be tough for Anton. If you committed 50K on the flop, that 8 doesn't change anything. Very rarely, let's just say. And he's put him to the test now. So it's fine. You want to play for it all.
I truly believe, folks, that this is the situation I was talking about where Anton is saying to himself, this guy can't have it every time. He's been in so many hands. They both sat down at this feature table at the same time. But he's going to let it go. And again, Jeremy does not show. And at this feature table, he becomes the chip leader. Just around 2x of what the average chip stack is.
You love when you're getting cards like him and you're just playing bully ball and it's all coming to plan.
Yeah.
You dream about these days.
Absolutely.
The flops are working with your premium hands too. You're not getting 3 outed, 4 outed. He's getting great value. Gregor now, ace king. Throws it away. And he's got 38K left. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's really no other move.
No.
Even if you have aces and kings, it's weird only betting half your stack. No matter what you get, you're going to let it rip.
Marco's got pocket fours. He's going to ask for the count.
This is not a...
Behind him, Matthew with a suited Jack 9 of hearts.
Isn't it a
But I don't
terrible
see
call?
Matthew. Well, Matthew's in the cutoff, and Matthew down to 49.5.
For Marco, though, right now, I mean, these are the situations where you're hoping you're running good. Granted, we can see that he's a slight favorite, but you get low stacks, you get pairs, you finally doubled up where you got a few chips to play with. But he's going to elect to let it go. A couple players behind him, too. I think if he was maybe the last one to act,
Yeah.
he might have came along. Now, Kath, I think this is where she's going to let it rip with the 10-9 suited.
Oh.
No. Ooh.
Well,
It's like the
And-
show Survivor has a new definition.
yeah, and we're not going to know.
Yeah, we won't know, but
Greg takes that down without the
I mean,
the
how-
flop.
How low are you going to go?
Yeah.
Must be waiting for aces or kings.
Hey, speaking of Tony Pacco, there he is on the chat.
Hey, Tony. Always a pleasure. Oh, and like I said, and I did say on there, though, Tony's been on this live stream many times. It just seems like he was showing a little bit more than normal on this day so far. We don't know what's going to happen, and Tony, no spoilers, please. But we'll find out.
Hey, there's Colonel. He's in the house for a couple of days, and actually Wednesday night, Colonel took down the Wednesday night tournament. Go to the reservepoker.com. Right now, our focus is till through the 14th, this $1 million prize pool guarantee and the satellites that we're providing for that. We'll be closed on the 15th, but then resume business on the 16th, and you'll want to check out our tournament action. We are open 7 days a week, well, with the exception of a day of rest after this big 11-day tournament. 12 days.
Marco now, ace-queen suited.
Hey, it's the 12 days of Christmas.
It's like the 14 days of poker Christmas.
Christmas in April. Poker Christmas in April.
It
gonna
really
be-
is like poker Christmas. I
Yeah.
mean, here we go.
And somebody's stocking is going to be runneth over here.
33K
On the 14th.
to go.
Jeremy typically likes to defend his big blind, but that's definitely not in his range for that bet size. Jeremy Betis, very patient.
And he takes it down. 21K profit. That's when you know the blinds are getting a little bit higher.
Yes.
And if you're looking at the chip stacks right now, there's a lot of people who'd love that 21K. We are about to get close to the 5-10 level, folks. And yes, we do repeat ourselves when we do tournaments because it's just true. The 5-10 level is almost what I call the D-Day level, where if you're low stack, you're either going to double up or you're going to get out. It is a game changer. It's 20K around the table, including the small blind and the ante, along with the big blind. But for the viewers, for us, it creates so much action. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
You almost feel like you're in Gladiator, Vic. Are you not entertained?
Absolutely. Yes. Toledo Toyota. Nothing certain yet, but if I were a betting man, I'd say that when we come back from the Millie.
Uh-oh. You know when I hear the uh-oh, that means uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. You're not saying you can't win, but there's someone who's got you a little hemmed up right now.
Yes.
Yep, and there's all in.
Couple of smaller stacks going at it so far. Let's see if anybody else comes along.
And they're really close. They're only off by 2,000 in chips. Matthew actually won't be out now, but Greg. Oh, so we're getting like 3 out of the 4 low stacks right now with big aces, or well, one suited with the wheel, who's the initial aggressor trying to steal. And yeah, it looks like all 3 are in there.
3-way all in.
Well, you had 3 low stacks, and someone's going to come out with a reasonable size stack here, just shy of 150K.
Yeah.
Wow, action-packed hand. Which one of the 3 are going to get back into it? That's the question. Someone is going to be feeling really good going forward with the 3-way all-in. Everyone was right around 50K, give or take. And all of a sudden we got 149K plus in the middle. 48 players left, 16 advance to day 2 and make the money. Get a chance for at least 200,000 for first place. I think it's going to be closer to $250,000.
Good job on that. And we got a side pot here. And we've got Matthew getting a little bit of change back. Great view here. I don't know. Where are you putting your money, Dom? The king, the queen, or the deuce?
I'm going to go with it staying clean. And but we have a nut flush draw here. I just thought justice was going to prevail.
Boy.
And of course, the weakest hand wins.
The weakest hand wins. Flush.
Why don't we just get a reminder, Vic, on why poker is cruel sometimes?
Yes.
And he had the most chips.
He did have the most chips, so he eliminates 2 players right there.
You have to be feeling floored and overjoyed right now. You get it all in with 2 callers, low stack. And you go from barely having any chips to where you're a double up away from being right next to the chip leaders at the table.
I mean, basically, you were sitting there with 8 blinds, 8 big blinds, and now you've got a lot more breathing room, and you've got 2 other players at your table, particularly Kat and then Anton, who are kind of in desperation mode here.
Yeah, and we should be getting, after those 2 players knocked out, I got to imagine we're going to be breaking a table. I think we're down to 45 now. Get a couple fresh faces, fresh stacks on this featured table.
5,025.
Anton making a move with Jack 10, raising it up. He says that many. Looks like 11,000. That's a lot of chips for 11,000. Curious to see what Shane does right here with the smooth call. Cat gets out of the way. Or does he put him to the test and just try to get it all in? Just because it's a low stack. No, he's going to see a flop. He's got position. I like this play. Oh, Matt with 9s. Hello. Does he put on the squeeze and try to just play the heater? Nope. So 3 players, 35-5 in the middle, Vic. Anyone's game. Everyone's live. Oh, top set for Matt. The heater is real, sir.
Yes.
And checked all the way around the Shane, and I don't blame him. This is a textbook play right here.
Absolutely.
A lot of times it's the right play.
If you're in position with ace queen on that board, you've got to put something out.
And I'm a little surprised with that re-raise there. It's a pretty dry board. Nothing really to scare you. Rainbow, well, he's going to go after it. Hope that Shane has a big hand. Just makes it 30, though. I mean, you put out 11, 19 more. It's inviting.
Yeah, Toyota, this is day 1A from yesterday, to answer your question. And he makes the call. And that's a good card for Shane possibly to get out of town. After the bet from Shane and then the raise, Shane's antennae have got to be fully exposed right now, fully extended. And now a bet of 45,000.
And with the pot size, that's another inviting bet. Saying the water's warm. I only have 63 behind. I mean, this is just smelling like monster. I'm going to bet 45, keep 63 back.
Yeah.
I mean, even an overpair would probably shove right there, so no overs hit. Like 10s or jacks.
Every time I open with 7s and 6s, and I've got ripped on both sides. I should have never raised the floor. But I think it's just anyway.
And as you mentioned, Dom, balancing the tables,
Oh, Scott,
getting
nice.
another player, and a familiar player.
Oh, yeah. Good luck to him. Great guy. Big supporter of the live stream, too. I think he's got the Nemesis hoodie. He's got the Max Value Mafia hoodie. Gets all the swag.
Here is the feature table. Chip leader, day 1A. Blinds at 2,500, 5,000. $2,500 ante. And now Shane picks up the good stuff. And he raises it up to 22,000. Anton, Queen Jack of Hearts, definitely in his wheelhouse. And if he's going to call, he's going to push it all in. And sure enough, he does push it all in, and that gives Jeremy H. enough information to get out of Dodge. So here comes Anton's.
That's what I wanted, my friend. No, I'm just kidding.
They're live.
Not bad. 57.5.
Fair fight.
Give me ace, king of hearts, please.
Are you in high hand?
No, I'm not. Just eight. Got 10 more tries, Mark. I'm just kidding. Oh, no, one time.
GG.
I'll see you guys later.
Overkill for you. A little overkill.
Nice meeting you guys. Take care.
Just a little overkill. Just for
Oh.
good measure.
Okay, well, Anton, it's just day 1A. You've got, and I'm pretty sure Anton had at least a couple of seats that he won through the satellites. So certainly Anton is going to be taking another stab at the Millie, maybe as early as today or tomorrow.
This one. Yep. This one right here. You sure you're gonna use this box right here?
Oh, okay.
That's what the guy was telling me through the thing here. All right, best of luck.
And we get a
everybody.
couple more players here, and we'll get their names into the system with their chip count. Currently, this level, the next level at 3, 6, and 3, at the end of that level, there'll be a 10-minute break. I believe we're going to be condensing that break and continue on because this is pre-recorded. And another one of our traveling dealers coming in.
And we have a lot of them. This is a full hands on deck for sure with the traveling dealers.
Now I kind of believe you. Yeah, that's you'll see it. This has a bad raise on my fault. What am I scared of when I fly here? I agree.
I think we got like a third of the staff in the RMS meeting for the first time.
Yeah.
It's a big tournament we've got going on here. Big ship operation. See some new faces throughout this series. Salute, Frank.
I just, yeah, salute. So if you're here at the Reserve Poker Club for a tournament, cash game, whatever you're here for, right around the corner is Salute. And they do pizzas and grinders and subs and all kinds of good stuff.
The goodies.
Fresh every day.
I just had a BLT pizza slice. It was delicious. Shout out to Salute and Frank. And we have 22K going in the middle with the ladies. Scott just sits down and he gets ladies like that. I love my first hand when I go to the live stream table. Get
Yeah.
a big pair.
Yeah, no kidding. And he's been on this live stream a number of times. It's got to be strange
home
for him
for
to
him.
sit down and be able to keep his headset on. So he's probably happy about that. We, with these recorded sessions, we aren't requiring the folks to lock up their phones, their smartwatches, or their headsets. And Jack 9 of clubs for Marco, and he's going to make the call. Here comes the flop.
Ace high board. Not what you want to see with the ladies, but he's still ahead.
Check, check. Here comes a free card. Queen's still in a commanding lead. Really all you're looking at is chop outs here.
And Marco putting him on probably the hand that he has. Trying to play a little bluffsky, but Scott is having none of it. Quick call. Snap. 106 in the middle. And
Oh, my goodness.
That is a straight.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, if you're committing now, I doubt you put him on a 6. You might as well go for it all in.
Just as soon as I said there's nothing but chop outs out there, one of them comes. And Marco is going to put the pressure on, put it all in, a quick call. So thank you very much, but halvesies.
Scott shaking his head. He knew he
Yeah.
had him hemmed up after he sees the cards, thinking, oh, that pot was mine. But they still take down some blinds and antes. A win's a win. His little scroll. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's getting the wife in there. He's in love. Devoted husband. There's Denise slinging some cards, doing a great job. Danielson out there too, I see.
Those tables that you see to the left of you, that is the satellite.
I see Grandma in there playing.
Grandma. Jeremy H. now, and that's how this game is. You go on a run of getting good starting cards,
Well,
and then it just kind of dries up for a while.
he's allowed to have a half an hour of folding. He
No
he
kidding.
got greedy for a little while. But there's nothing wrong with being greedy. It's poker. You always want all the chips when you're sitting at the table.
Three players. Check, check. Bet 15,000.
Marco with the best of this.
Call.
Bets it out in a quick fold from Frank.
Heads up.
And actually Shane made that call, and Marco called, and now Shane catches up in a big way.
That's 25,000.
As Shane gets there. He's been a little unlucky. You almost think he was due for a little run good. Can Marco relinquish? I mean, not only do you have to worry about the ace, but also Queen Jack hitting Broadway. Really, the worst card you could have seen in the deck for his hand.
So Shane now inching closer to 400,000 in chips, and he regains the title of chip leader at this feature table, which is what he was a little over an hour ago when we started this feature table.
Same day Joker went off, right? Joker went off.
Top to go chat turn. Top. Do you believe me?
We just bring him in, sir. Sir, do we show over here or no? Hi, Jake. Yep.
Not much to see here right now. Now Marco, though, in position on the button. There's the nemesis.
So good in this box.
Needs 5,000 to call, and doing the right thing here, bumping it up.
Watch out.
Raise. 11,000.
Jeremy 9-7 suited and hearts says why not?
Yeah, just needs 6 grand here to defend his big blind,
A
and
good
he's going to
asking
do
price.
just that.
Heads up.
Hand number 37, 44 players remaining. We're playing down the 16, and we have a king high board. And not only that, Vic,
Oh boy.
top 2 pair. Overkill for Marco.
Yeah. And he's going to want to stay on top of this with those 2 diamonds out there. And a bet of 10,000 and a quick fold there from Jeremy. So Marco, very consistent player. His temperament is perfect for this game in order to ride the ups and downs, the ebbs and tides. You definitely want to maintain your composure. You just got to roll with it when you get those bad beats. If you make a decision, you've got to be able to brush it off. Do what I call the etch-a-sketch, turn it upside down and shake it.
Blinds are up, James.
And the blinds are now up. Yep, we I believe now we're at 3, 6, and 3.
Jenga. Shane. Pocket sevens.
Raise.
It's going to make it 12K. I like this sizing. It's still nothing crazy. You can get some folds, but if someone comes over the top, you can get away from it. Jacks for Jeremy.
Raise.
And these two just seem to have a vendetta against each other.
They have been in a
One
number of
raises,
hands here.
Another one re-raises, and normally you don't see this with the big stacks, but at this table so far on this live stream, we've seen the big stacks battle over and over again, and now it's 40K.
You only got 2 stacks of purple?
And once again, you got to think, is Shane thinking to himself, boy, this guy's really wearing out his welcome here.
Right? I'd just be thinking in my head, rude.
And Shane lets it go.
I'm all in.
Scott now, a weak ace. And Scott is going to push all in. He's going to put the pressure on. What a move here.
Man, this is for his whole tournament life.
For Scott, and would
Really
be
for Jeremy.
a third. No, it would be a third of his. And he does make the call.
I mean, Jeremy made the call, but man, that's a tough spot there.
That is a tough spot.
When I say it's not his whole tournament life, he's still got 84K, but look where he's at. He's at over 300,000, and now he only has 84 behind. But he's going to make a call and be just surprised he's in this good a shape before the flop, Vic.
Right. Probably a big sigh of relief, but not completely out of the woods yet. Only a 2-1 favorite.
I'd say most likely with jacks, if you have your player dominated, you're expecting them to have 10s, 9s, 8s, even possibly 7s, what Shane had, if you're feeling good. But yeah, ace-3, a little shock probably for him. Can Jeremy keep this run going? If he wins this one, whoever wins this pot is going to have over $500,000. If you had this stack, if you just held this stack till the final day one, you have a great stack going into day two. You don't even need to add to it. And we still have 42 players left.
I got most of them. I got like 320.
Getting everything tallied up.
And if you're just joining us, we are the Reserve, Toledo, Ohio. This is day 1A, filmed yesterday. And we're be bringing you poker action every night now through the Millie. Right around 6:30, 6:45 for about 2.5, 3 hours every evening. Dom and I will be calling the action. We'll be bringing Brian in here from time to time. Flying Brian.
Oh, yeah. Flying Brian.
And Frenchie, a.k.a. Eli, from time to time as well.
It's okay. Sorry. No, you're good. So we got 1, 2, 250.
Rebate.
All right, here we go. All it's said and done, it's even more. Now with the call, I believe it's well over 600. It's 665,000. Here we go. The hand of the evening, hand number 38, and right now jacks are clean so far. Still 2 cards to go.
3 outs.
Lady, oh, and he blocks one of the aces with the flush draw, and the flush hits.
GG, bro.
Little,
And Jeremy, the onslaught, Vic,
yes.
continues. Is now he's just shy of 700,000 in front of him. And Scott, nice run, big hand. I know we'll see him again. But wow, Jeremy H. living La Vida Loca.
No kidding. This has been the Jeremy H. show so far tonight for this live stream feature table. And we may have to take a break just so he can stack these chips up.
The play made no sense, am I right? It made no sense.
Just kidding, folks. We don't do that.
So we're down to 42
Gotta
players.
play on.
And just like that, this featured table, we've seen 3 low stacks all in with 2 eliminations. We just saw a big hand here. The action is rising, Vic. Hey,
Yeah.
he can't even. The dealer can't even get his cards to him. He's got so many chips to
Yeah.
stack in front of him. I want that problem in my life.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, this time, Kat, her remaining 8,000, and kind of a mercy call here from Shane, just 2,000 to call there.
It's coming deuce for it.
Stop it.
No, that's what's happening. I had a premonition. 7 deuce.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O.
The ladies are thinking of survive. There's a
Oh,
lady.
there we
There you
go.
go, Cat. Fighting back.
There we go. There's the check mark.
And Cat survives.
And
up
you
to
can see
19.
the big heavy sigh of relief there.
Yeah, I always root for Kat. She's a dear person that I've known in the poker industry, a friend, over the years. She really needs to go all in low stack too, hopefully, and get a triple up, get back in there, because now she's at 19. Maybe you can get up to 60, and then you can breathe. I mean, you got to keep the gas pedal on. You really want to try to get to 150 right now, but it's a start, Vic.
Yeah.
It's a start. You had the button. You can pick your moment for a few hands. And Jeremy is still stacking his chips. We just had a whole hand completed.
Yeah.
He's still stacking them.
He's got to make room to get him in that rectangle there so that we can get him in the card reader.
Yeah, throw him the muck. What are you doing?
They're not even behind the betting line.
No, Frank here now has been pretty quiet. Queen 10 of spades. I do not want to see him limp in here. Let's see if, and yes, he does
Make it 11.
bump it, but it's supposed to be 12 because we are now at
Oh, Jeremy.
3, 6, and 3.
Uh-oh.
And another strong hand here, pre-flop for Jeremy. Needs 12,000 to call.
He's like, you know what? I don't even have that in my stack right now. This is like a free roll. If it's not stacked up, it doesn't count, right?
Right.
Yeah, even
And
Jeremy
this
beat
time
him.
Jeremy Batis is going to no,
he makes the call.
he's going to he's going to
Three-handed.
defend.
And
For
he's
a minute there.
live. I mean, normally you see 2 players. You might
Yeah.
be worried about King Jack, but he is live and well right now. But a lady on the flop, and salute Frank gets a little run good. Initial aggressor. Flops top pair.
You raised me, I know. That's funny.
Makes it look like a C-bet 2, betting half the pot, roughly.
I didn't have
Seeing if anyone will come along, but nice hand for Salute Frank. Picks up 30K, added to his stack. Salute Frank. Now over 300K.
And once again, if you're here in Toledo and playing in a tournament, cash game, whatever it might be, and at the Reserve, you're going to want to check out Frank's restaurant, Salute, right around the corner.
Yeah, give them a look. Good quality food. Great job. Like I said, their pizzas are top notch. They got sandwich. They got everything there. Check them out.
No, so what I'm saying is like what he said,
they don't ever do that.
Just pull it back and then alongside.
Maybe tuck and Salute Frank of a free pizza later this week since you're giving them plugs. Just a little dough and sauce. I'm always looking for max value.
I know you are. I know you are.
It's the Italian in me. I can't
Yeah.
help it.
Yeah.
Especially when you got a guy that makes a good pizza.
Very good pizzas there. Just a lot of great fresh ingredients. Under the gun, Marco with King Queen of Hearts, and he's going to raise this up a hair better than min click 13,000. And now Jeremy B is going to make the call, protect his small blind, and we're going to go heads up action.
Heads up.
And Marco hits the best of this. Oh, check, a free card. Thought that was going to spell trouble there for Marco. But he dodges one. Going to want to put a bet out here.
That's 16,000.
And Jeremy really not one to chase with air. Just an overcard, and he lets it go. John Coffey wants to know what time we're going to have the bomb pot.
Oh, jeez. He must have gotten into the Modelo's a little early.
It's either that or the drywall dust. I'm not sure.
Or maybe did
Oh,
you check,
the
did you
carpet
check his coffee?
No, the carpet glue.
The
That's
carpet
what it-
glue. That's
yeah,
what it was, the
that's what
carpet
it is.
glue.
Yeah.
I thought you might have had to check his coffee for the Baileys.
Yeah. No bomb pot for you. Not tonight.
I'm actually looking forward to. I hope we get to see John Coffey fire one of these things and get him on the live stream. We've seen him go deep in some of these tournaments. Be nice to see him have a chance for some big money, and who knows, if you run good, you can get in there. And if he gets first place, then he can buy me and Vic lunch one day.
Lunch. If he gets first place, he's taking me with he and his wife the next time they go down to Florida. Or they go to North Carolina, I think.
You know what I just realized? There was a bet
16,000 raised.
that I believe Glenn still owes me Chinese buffet that we made over a Michigan game
Yeah.
in the season, and we just forgot about it. I got to bring that up to Glenn.
Yeah. Jeremy's going to show the jacks here.
And I thought Mr. Coffey was supposed to come along. meet
Oh,
us
that's
there.
right. I do remember that.
Yes.
That was supposed to be
Mr.
a
Coffey, am I
triple
right
date.
about that one? Yeah, I thought Mr. Coffey just
Yeah.
asked if he could tag along. It was
Right.
over like a Michigan, some game. I forget
Yeah.
what it was.
Was that he was going to be the chaperone or something?
I think it was like the Michigan-Ohio State basketball
Okay.
game.
Yeah. That's the other thing now. You know, don't be shy about coming in here during the Final Four, because we've got TVs all around the walls, and we're always going to have whatever game, usually the big game, but if there's other games as well, we'll turn that on.
Oh, yeah.
Once in a while, for Gary we'll put on the car racing. You know, he likes drag racing.
You know, I'm a fan
The
of
dirt
that stuff, but I
Truck,
gotta admit,
car, run around a dirt track racing kind of thing. He loves that.
That's one of those things you got to go live to see, because when I watch it on TV, it goes to the cars look like they're going slow, but when you go to the track, it's amazing because you could feel the wind just hit you in the face.
He just had big hand alert, folks.
Yeah, big
he
hand
just
alert.
had jacks. Now ace king. Going to raise this to 20,000. Mario with ace jack in the small blind. Oh, interesting fold there. PTP, play the player, play position. And Marco did not like the looks of that situation, being in the small blind, out of position. Jeremy really been pretty quiet in terms of his aggression, so he's putting him on a big hand, and he let go of that ace-jack. Very disciplined fold there. I know there's many of you out there that probably would have made that call. Remember, the small blind was $3,000. The raise to 20. You've got ace-jack. It's not suited. What do you think, folks? Do you make that call, or do you make that fold that we just saw from Marco?
Raise to 12.
King Jack has been dealt out a lot during this live stream.
Well, your least favorite and your favorite hand right now.
Oh,
Pocket eights here.
Call.
A raise and a call,
Get 'em,
and now a
Salute
call
Frank.
with the pocket eights,
you already know who I am.
and
rooting
the
for
cement
here.
mixer goes in to the muck.
Anytime I see pocket eights, I'm a fan.
Players.
And right now, eights hold. Oh, don't check it.
Oh boy!
Find out where you're at.
Middle pair here for Marco with the ace kicker.
That's 15,000.
Maybe he comes over the top now. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. He had
That
a
was
plan
the
in
plan.
place.
He had a game plan.
Why are we questioning a man who has a delicious pizza restaurant called Salute right around the corner? He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. And he really puts the pressure on here now. He's raising it to 55, so 40,000 for Marco to call, which at this point is basically...
You know what Salute Frank did? He wanted max value. He checked it,
Yeah.
came over the top. He's trying to get an extra 15K. Take it down now. Maybe he gets some more. He's in great shape going to the turn if we see another card.
The ballpark of about fourth of his stack here to make this call,
Yeah,
and he does let it go.
With Marco's chip stack size, you're at 138, so you're still in good shape. If you made a move there with the 55, it was really smooth calling there would have been a bad play. It's
Yeah.
either raise, jam all in because there's enough in there, or fold.
And there's the remaining 4 of the 5 tables for tonight's Day 1A. 162 players, so 16 players are going to move on to Day 2, Day 2 being Sunday, April 13th. So our very first flight with 16 players, and I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of a repeat tonight on Friday. They're going to be playing down to 16 tonight as well, and we will give you some of that action tomorrow night, starting at around 6:45 for a few hours of a featured table of the Reserve Poker Club in Toledo, Ohio, $1 million prize pool guarantee, 4-year anniversary. Christmas in April. And Kat gets a walk. So she continues to just hang in there. Down to 22,000. We saw not too long ago she was down to $8,000. Did a double up with Shane, giving her a courtesy call on the big blind.
Having to shove that extra credit card.
Larry says he's number 46, and we're at 48 right now. Thank you very much, Larry. Appreciate it.
You have a picture?
I did.
That's probably worth shoving.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Raise 15,000. Dave. Call 15,000. Call 15.
Suited ace for Cat, small blind. 12,000 to call. She's only got 19,000 back. She's in already this hand for $3,000.
Well, it's either all in or nothing here.
As he said it, he realized what
And
he
there's
said.
been multiple times she was in pretty good shape, and she just hasn't pulled the trigger.
No.
It's almost like a slow bleeding where you're going to hear the story like I was 3 or 4 away
Yes. Yeah.
from making day 2.
And now she makes yet another good fold, though.
I will admit, yes.
She's just hanging in there. And Marco hits the best of this.
She's showing a lot more restraint than I would. She's been here before. She's made some deep runs in these tournaments. Very capable. Winning lots of money.
That's 26,000.
Just a gut shot for Jeremy and an over. But with 83 in there,
I don't know. There's something he's liking this.
he's just going to call.
He's going to come along here.
Well, he's running good. Maybe he's just feeling it.
And nothing there for Matthew to hang his hat on other than an overcard, and he lets it go.
Yeah,
So now 109,000 in this pot. And that was not one of the cards
Marco
that Jeremy
improves.
was looking for, but it helps Marco's hand. He now has a flush draw,
All in.
and he's going to push all in. Top pair, flush draw, gut shot. Is that a double belly? It is. He's got every reason to put it all in there, and he does. And takes down a profit of 68,000. We got a dealer change coming in. Daniel's son learned his trade from Mr. Miyagi.
Yes.
Coming in.
The great arts.
162 entries today, $600 buy-in.
Good luck, everybody.
Everybody starting with 50,000, and then an optional add-on of 10,000. So basically, everybody starting with 60,000. The chips in play, 9,720,000, and 16 players from this group tonight. At some point tonight, will go on to qualify for day 2. They will take their chip stack to day 2, and they'll play another. If they play another flight and bag, they will take the largest of those 2 bags to go into day 2. And they will receive $3,000 for that double bag bonus. If they do it again, they'll have another decision. They'll have another choice to make. If they bag, take the biggest of the 3 bags and get another $3,000.
Just keep it going over and over again.
Yeah.
Keep getting 3,000.
Another table. Oh, yeah.
Get it knocked out. Get knocked out. He got knocked out.
Okay, battle of the blinds here. Shane and Jeremy. These guys have logged a lot of hours playing poker together.
King high board. Check, check.
2 locals.
Jeremy in the lead with just bottom pair.
Check at the showdown, and Jeremy wins that battle of the blinds. Takes down a profit of $6,000.
Winner right now.
Looking for some familiar faces? Your friends, your neighbors, your cousins? Your nemesis, perhaps?
Ooh.
Is there someone out there you see at the flight 1A and you think, oh, I remember that guy. Called me with 7-4 offsuit. Speaking of 7 deuce offsuit, Marco. And now salute Frank.
Kathleen just came.
Wow, Kat. I don't
You know,
blame
with
you,
how
Kat.
patient she's been,
She's
I'm just
disgusted,
surprised.
but she's patient.
She hasn't even gotten like an ace jack or a pair above deuces. And I got to admit, here's the thing. We might be saying, oh, let it rip with the suited ace 3 or whatnot. You still got to think with how patient she's been. She would have had one
Yeah.
hand she could have raised with by now. She's really grinded her way through 3 extra orbits, Vic. And there hasn't been anything.
Bottom pair here for Matt. Shane had raised up pre-flop. He's going to do a continuation bet. Be surprised if Matt sticks around with this bottom pair, but you never know, he might. 7,000, not that bad of a price tag. So he pays it, sees another card. Here comes the turn, and that does not help Shane. Matt still in the lead. Check. Does Shane throw in the towel here and check and hope for a better card on the river? He does, and that was no help.
Shane just looks like he doesn't trust him at all.
Yeah, I know. He and he's gonna call. He wants to see this. This was definitely a curiosity call.
Well, he was right with his read. He didn't have anything. He just had bottom pair, and the king high wasn't good enough, but he was right in the ballpark.
Yeah.
I mean, the way Shane looked, I actually thought maybe he would do like a 2.5x bet there with the semi-bluff, trying to make it look like a value if he thought he was weak, try to get away with it. That's definitely in his arsenal.
John Coffey, we have had this conversation many times. I don't mean to sound like your Uncle Vic here, but we've talked about patience. It's how important it is in this game. And I know sometimes you come to the table and you got other things on your mind. And I know you're there to have a good time most of the time. But the patience is key.
Well, salute Frank raised it up to 15K, and Shane's going to come along with the shimmy suited 10-8 of clubs. Marco with the suited king says, yeah, let's see a flop. I get a discount. And wow. Action board.
This
Set of
is
nines
action.
for salute Frank. And then we have a pair with an open-ended straight draw for Shane. This one can get a little hairy.
There's a bet of 30,000.
Marco now with just bottom pair. Yep.
Yeah, let those two battle it out.
Oh, and now 2 pair for Shane and a set for Salute Frank. But now this might open the door for Shane. Let's see what Salute... Does Salute Frank still lead out here? With 4 cards straight out there on the board. Doesn't want to give him the keys to the castle.
Yeah, you talk about a scare card there. Salute Frank is not doing a check raise here.
Now, if Shane put him on a made hand...
Oh, check, check. And even another scare card, really.
Still doesn't change too much. I mean, the queen
If-
would have still had you either
And
way.
they go check to showdown, and Frank is going to take this. This could have gotten a lot messier
action
for
killer on the
Shane.
turn.
Yep. And they are going on a 10-minute break. I believe the all-knowing eye in the sky.
There it
Give us some guidance here whether
We're
we're
gonna
going to
be-
take this whole. Are we going to take it all? I think we are. All 8 minutes?
Are we filling up blues there?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've been here for a couple of hours now calling the action, and we've got just a little bit of a break. And there'll be.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
We did go.
It was
for
this much of a break. It was just a
I
little
love
break.
it. We can get right back in the action. You
The-
don't have to wait.
No, you don't have to wait. That's the beauty of us.
Yeah, we want to keep the action nonstop for you guys. Live at the Reserve on YouTube. Make sure you smash that like button, by the way. Hit that subscribe if you're new. This is, once again, day 1A for our $1 million guaranteed tournament. $200,000 for first place available, Vic.
Jeremy B. now.
Raise 25.
Going to bump this up. The blinds are now 4, 8, and 4. He's going to take this up to 25,000. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just bringing you a few hours of action tonight. So we've been on the air here for just about 2 hours. Could be another 45 minutes right in that range, and we'll be checking out until tomorrow night. Dom's going to stretch his legs a little bit, and I'm going to get the very famous, almost infamous Nick, Tarantula Nick. How you doing, buddy?
Good, Vic. How's it going, buddy?
Good. Working hard today?
Oh, yeah. Busy
Yeah?
day, man.
Yeah. Did you start things off in the morning, or you came in?
No, I came in at 1, but I've been busy ever since.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that play.
Yeah. And so one of the things, since I wasn't dealing today, I'm very curious about seeing all these unfamiliar and new faces. Did you get a feel from some of the players in terms of where they traveled from, different places we haven't heard from before? Today's flight one, or you were 1B today, but yeah.
You know, I can't say that I have.
Okay.
I wish I had a good story for you, but
Well, I put you on the spot.
yeah. You know, I guess I've just been lucky today. I've dealt to mostly the regular crowd. I see all these new people, these new faces, but you know, they're kind of scattered in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So this is
yesterday.
Right,
This
okay,
is
that's what I
1A. We've got 38 players remaining, and of course, going down to 16 players. The 16 players that made it to day 2, we did post that on our Facebook page. So a little spoiler alert there. And a couple of the players that are at this feature table, spoiler alert, you will see on that list. And we're going to go back. We're going to be at this again tomorrow night. We're going to do a few hours every night.
awesome. I like to hear it.
Little teaser for everybody. We've been getting a great turnout here, viewers, and on the chat board. And there's been some really good action. The story has been Jeremy, who's now at 612,000. Just went on not a tear, but just a consistent run good for quite a while.
Yeah, it's good to hear. He doesn't make it in very often, but you know, it's nice when he does to see him make a deep run. Known Jeremy a long time.
And then the patience of Kat. She is now down to $7,000 for the second time.
Oh, well, goodness.
She has just been so tough for her, and it's a very similar situation now where she's on the small blind, and basically 4, 8, and 4. 4, 8, and 4. This is her all-in moment.
Yeah, I mean, this is
Just
not,
about.
This is not a one-off for Kat. She is not afraid to fold until she gets a good hand, you know, and sometimes it gets her in this, but sometimes it pays off, you know. When she does finally get a hand, she gets 5 or 6 times her money, Yeah, she is not afraid to play it all the way down. Here's Marco. He's going to open it up with 8s.
22.
Wow. I don't blame her. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Queen 4. I don't know. That is patience. But in the meantime, Shane, Ace 10 of diamonds, are going to go heads up to
yeah,
this
he
flop.
wakes
Nick.
up with the premium in the big blind. So Shane whiffs the flop, but Marco's not a fan of that king. It really is a good flop for his hand, but he might not know it. Leads out for 27, gets it done.
So one of the things I was going to say about Kat is, yes, she's very patient, but she's got to be just miserable because Kat is not a bingo player. She's not here
No.
just hoping to hit this or hit that. She has a great poker strategy. She approaches the game, with a strategic mind.
She absolutely does.
And to be in this situation now, she's just handcuffed.
Yeah.
There's nothing she can do, and it's not the kind of poker she likes to play.
Nope. I mean, in her head, she has 5 free hands. She thinks she can see better than Queen 4, and she likely will. Here, Marco wakes up with pairs back to back. This time he has kings under the gun +1. And he makes the same raise. Goes to 22,000. Jeremy behind him with 7s. Poor Cat, Jack 5. Although she didn't really want to pick up a hand here.
You weren't looking at me.
Oh, Shane with ace king in this small blind.
Wow.
Jeremy with 10s on the big blind.
Man,
Folks, we're going to have a pot here.
Tarantula Nick comes in, sits down, and the action heats up.
So let's see. Jeremy has a raise from under the gun +1 to 22,000. A call in between. And then a jam from the big blind. Jeremy can get away from with 10s here.
Yeah.
Not saying he will, but he is definitely capable of folding here.
He's going to.
Yeah, it doesn't even give it too much thought before
No.
getting out of the way.
Yep. You've played a lot with Jeremy. I mean,
Yeah.
he's great to have at the table.
Yeah, a lot of people just go broke there. They see a big premium pocket pair like that, and they get the money in. Disciplined fold of 10s. Shane gonna be looking for one of 3 remaining aces.
And they are very close in chips. If that count is right, if Shane cannot defeat the kings, then he'll be down in that range. Looks like about 1,000.
Yeah, very close here. You can see from the figures there, Shane has 26%. 26% equity going to the flop. If he does not flop an ace, we're going to see that fall pretty dramatically. So he wants to hit the ace on these first 3 cards. Oh, that was a really obvious thing to say, I guess. Daniel getting this pot right. Here we go, burn and turn. 3-3 queen.
The computer knows that there's only 2 aces left.
Oh, there's Jeremy's 10. That's not going to do it for Shane. He's still going to have a little bit of life. He's still got 1 big blind behind.
Yeah, still got something back. Danny asked a question about the money winners. No, you get paid out in cash. And what is it? It's $4,999 is the point at which you get above that, and then you've got to fill in the form.
That's correct.
We don't take any money out for you and deal with the government. We do we do have to fill out the form and send that in. So you'll have to deal with that. But if you're going to win around $250,000 for first place, not such a
pay
big
your
problem.
taxes,
Yeah.
So it looks like figures don't look accurate here. So figure says Shane has 6,000, but I see at least a stack of 20 in front of him there. So Shane is definitely in some trouble here, but he is not as short as the computer has him, right? I mean, yeah, he's shuffling at least a stack of 20 there. All right, there they fixed it. So 26,000 for Shane. Okay.
I know. What the fuck are we doing? It's been like this for 10
You ask and you receive.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah.
Now
We've got 10 days here or better of action and service to the reserve. And I know I'm going to be itching to play in a big tournament as soon as this is over.
Yeah, I have one in mind already.
Do you? I was
Yeah.
just going to ask you. I kind of figured as much.
Oh, yeah. All right, on that mark, I'm going to give you back to Dominic.
All right.
We're going to be recording these almost every night, I hear,
Every
right?
night. Every
All right,
night.
so I'm
yeah.
sure I'll be
So,
back here eventually,
yeah.
right?
Stop in again, please.
All right, thanks for having me.
Tarantula Nick, always a pleasure.
The Tarantula Nick in
Yes.
the house. Don't forget, Nick, what was it again? Former Arctic Freeze, was it the Freeze Out champion? Winter Classic champion at the reserve before he worked here. He is a former champion, folks. You got to
Oh,
put
yes.
some respect on it.
Yes.
He's got championship experience.
Boy, I can remember if you remind me, so I'm glad you reminded me of that.
Yeah, the Winter Classic took down, I believe, the first or second one out of the 4 years we were here. It was just about 2 years ago, I believe. He took it down, the Winter Classic.
Yes.
Yeah, 36 players left, Vic, and I got to say, now you're down to the final 4 tables. This is when it starts to click where you might want to start switching gears. And if you have a big chip stack, definitely start putting the pressure on
Yeah.
people. So what did I miss, by the way? I see Shane down the 26K.
Yeah,
while I had to
Shane
step
got
outside.
into a big hand with Marco. Marco's kings held up against Shane's ace-king, and so they were very close in chip stack
Oh, it was Ace King versus Kings.
versus kings.
Oh, jeez.
And
Cooler.
the kings held up. In the meantime, Kat just
She will not give up.
She is not giving up this time. She puts it all in with an ace.
Man, Shane, you're almost tempted to try to shove and see if you can take this down. He's just going to smooth call. I was about to say, if he shoved, I mean, maybe. You have to get a little lucky and no one woke up with anything. Marco actually would have came along with Queen Jack here, no matter what he did. We had to step outside for a moment, came back, and I was like, wow. The chips have definitely shifted around the table. And we're about to get some new players at this table with 36 left. So here we go. Giddy up, as they say, Vic.
Giddy up, and this is a chance for Kat to quintuple up. So she can grab 15 plus the ante, so she can be grabbing 19,000 here of this pot.
Yeah, King 3-9.
But in the meantime, she needs some help.
Yeah, Jeremy flopping top pair definitely gets a huge advantage here. Matthew, first to act. And here comes some new players, fresh faces. Yeah, Jeremy's going to bet 35K. I mean, you should just start calling him the executioner at
Yes.
this table.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, and that's that big chip poker you were just talking about. He's got to put this pressure on, and he's got to look for every opportunity as if it's a...
oh, that's all she wrote.
And that's all she wrote.
Kath, excellent run though. Made it to the final 4 tables. Like I said, I'm sure we will see her on this live stream later on. She has made some deep runs in tournaments. The cards, she was grinding, literally got an extra 3 orbits and was staying pretty card dead throughout the whole time in the last 40 minutes. Gave herself an opportunity to see if she could get a rush of cards. The rush never came. That's just poker sometimes. Dust it off. New day tomorrow.
4 and 8.
Also, I just got back in the live stream room after I stepped out. See that TK, Mr. Terry Cool on the message board. Danny, also, welcome, gentlemen. Larry, thanks for tuning in tonight. Also, guys, if you could smash that thumbs up, that like button. We always have a goal of 100. We're getting close to 75. I'm just requesting a little surge right now to get to from 63 to 75. A random act of kindness goes a long way. Also, if you're new, thanks for joining us. Please join our poker family. It is completely free to hit that subscribe button. We would love to be welcome on your tablets, your TVs, your phones, and provide you with some entertainment on a weekly basis, live at the reserve here. In our $1 million guarantee day 1A. All right, we're going to redo that with some players sitting down for the first time. Just a little quick redo. And as you see with this tournament and the blind levels, it is going to get more and more serious. Like I said, when we get to 5-10, it just seems like you get a surge in action. We are so close to that. It is 8 and 4,000 right now on that brink. And folks, I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to this. You might be just thinking, Dominic, that's just a silly opinion. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But I almost think it's mentally. When you start seeing the blinds hit the double digits, once it hits 10, maybe it just clicks into a lot of the medium short stacks that they got to drive up the action and take a risk. But I'm telling you, it definitely goes up more than normal from 4-8 to 5-10 in these big tournaments. And thank you for those thumbs ups from Tony Paco and Terry Cool. Marco now, pocket 10s. After a raise from Jeremy H with pocket 8s. 2 big stacks at the table. And Jeremy H really has been going at the big stacks. Normally in tournament formats, and I think most people can agree, sometimes the big stacks take away, stay away from each other a little bit more when you're watching these live streams until you get down to like the final 2 tables. You try to, have risk at maybe like a third, a fourth of your stack, maybe half your stack tops. But Jeremy H has been going at Shane when Shane had a large stack earlier, and now it looks like Marco has majority of the chips, and he's going to keep putting on his assault. Checks his 10s over the Jeremy. Little semi-bluff action. Liking these bet sizing. He's going aggressive here, making it look like he's protecting the ace against a flush draw.
48,000.
Coming out swinging for 48,000, close to half the pot. Actually, over half the pot. Definitely this bet sizing might have a chance to get this through, and it looks like it worked for Jeremy. Well done. That bet sizing was pretty much the main play in that hand. Acted like he wanted to shut it down now, and he was ready to fire again. And Marco, who just got all those chips, decided, you know what, with the ace out there, I'm not going to risk giving it back. He's in a great spot at 442,000. And I gotta say, Shane now waking up with King Queen. Opportunity knocks. He's got 18 grand. Yeah, get it in. Good luck to Shane. I mean, if he can somehow manage to get back up to 70K, don't be surprised if he runs this up. But you definitely need to run good. Get a double or triple up here, hopefully. The ace gets out of the way. Good for him. Salute Frank. Suited king.
20,000. Call.
He's going to keep him on. So Jeremy, too. Big stack at the table. Suited queen 8 of diamonds. I think this is a no-brainer.
Call.
So, Shane,
Alright.
with an opportunity to get up to 64,000, if he can win this, he'd be one hand away from getting a stack again. He is the heavy favorite going into this flop, and right now is outflopped by Salute Frank with a pair of 5s. Check, check. That does bring in a gut shot for Shane.
Check around.
A few more outs, a jack or a queen. And it is a blank Shane. Unless something weird happens. And nope, goes standard textbook. Salute Frank's going to show the bad news. And Shane, nice run though, buddy. Made it to the final 4 tables. We're down to 34 players at least. There's 2 seats open here. So getting closer and closer to even the final 3. Just like that, 2 players at the featured table get eliminated. And here we are. And look at that corner. Jeremy H. over 600. Salute Frank over 400. Marco over 400K. It's getting a little lopsided on that table, Vic. Jeez, oh Pete's. Just in that little sector, they're taking over.
Yeah. Hopefully the legs on that side of the table are strong enough.
Yeah, Jeremy B has a nice chip stack. He really hasn't gone down or up. He's pretty much maintained what he had about an hour and a half ago. But hasn't really gotten anything going so far consistently. We know he's a dangerous player. I mean, 1 double up from him and he can be close to 600K.
Raise. 22.
And ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned before, we're going to come on every night for just a few hours, give you a taste of the action that's going on. Hopefully you get to see a friend, a neighbor, a cousin, a nemesis
Oh, a nemesis.
playing here on the feature table. So be sure to join us. Case in point tonight, we've got just about 20 minutes left. Just to give you a heads up, because this is just a feature table. Please come and join us again tomorrow night, right around 6:45. Very similar setup.
You know, it's going to be interesting, too, as we get these day ones with the $3,000 double bag. We will get updated people after a few days on who already bagged. And that'll also factor into some decision-making, Vic, when you get down to the final 36, 27 players, if you've already bagged.
22,000.
Do you go in survival mode if you already have a big stack, you know, just try to get that 3K, or do you push forward for a bigger stack if maybe you got in and you were low the first time
Yeah.
and you're trying to up your chances on day 2 of making a deep run? Different factors as this live stream continues throughout the week. So we're going to be marching forward the day 2. Salute Frank, 65K. With the hooks. You know, it's only fitting we get a moose sighting, 8-5.
Absolutely.
One of our local hands in the Toledo area that's become popular. We call it the Moose, named after a good friend and player of the room. Local legend in the poker industry. There's the rest of the field now. I see Luke out there. See Sky out there. There's Jose. Hammer. Yeah, a lot of... Alex is out there too. Has made some deep runs. Yeah, a lot of capable players out in that main lobby that could take this down and possibly hold over 200,000 in their lap coming in just over a week. Vince now.
And here comes Frank on a little bit of a run good now. He's looking down at ace 10 of diamonds. The blinds at 4, 8, and 4,000. And he is joined the $500,000 club.
Man, that's a great club to be in.
It sure is.
18,000.
Just a couple of them here in this feature table. Marco close to it with 436. Jeremy B continues to
Looks like he's going to
play
take it down.
patient, and that raise going to go all the way through.
Nice job by Salute Frank. Up to 520, Vic.
Danny, appreciate that comment. Well, that's exactly what we wanted to be able to do with these live streams every night, is to give you a taste of the tournament, the action that we're seeing. And as Dom mentions, it's going to be interesting each night as we broadcast here and we start to see perhaps a multi-bag players sit down and what their strategy will be, depending, of course, on their bag size.
Yeah, I mean, we know that there was one player that at least had 11 satellite tickets earned. You got to be thinking on their mind. They're hoping for at least, 3 bags minimal. A day
Yeah.
2 plus 3 bags if you get that many.
A.K.A. Scuba Steve. Marco now
Raise.
mixing it up.
18,000.
Under the gun with 7-6 of hearts, and he's going to bump this up to 18,000, a little bit better than 2x. So far, picking a pretty good time to do that. And picks a very good time to do that. But Vince is going to protect. He's got Queen 4 clubs.
Clear. One check in the dark.
As many players like to do. They like to protect that big blind if it's not outlandish, and he picks a good time.
Yeah, Queen High flush draw.
They go check, check,
Ooh.
free card, and Vince now gets the check mark.
And Marco might put a feeler bet out here, though, with 3 clubs on the board, hitting a 6, thinking, you know what, just in case if he's only on a flush draw,
And you're
I want to
right.
get this out, and there it is.
Indeed, he does.
Not a bad play, just 10,000, nothing crazy.
Raise. To 25,000.
He's going to make it 25, Vince, trying to build this pot up. And it's pretty welcoming. Only 15 more. Trying to price him in so if he shoves on the river, it's pretty hard to fold to anything. And it doesn't work, though. But nice job by Vince.
Yeah, that worked out well for Vince.
Yeah, he's up to 148K now. There's the satellite, what we've been talking about. Great value. $65 can get you a ticket. You have that many players, you don't even have to make the final 2 tables a lot of times. Normally it's around 20, 23 seats. 9-handed.
So another question here that I'd like to pose to the chat. I just talked about defending the big blind, and I'd like to know, like, take the room's temperature, if you will. You're in the big blind in that situation, and somebody raises and nobody calls. It's left to you. Where is your comfort zone? Is it if the raise is just a 2x? Is it will you go 3x? Is 4x take you out of the ballpark? Just wondering. I know it's always situational, but let's just say, regardless of the cards, you're going to play the player, you're going to play the situation where you've decided in your head for a certain amount that if you just have a mediocre hand, you're going to protect your big blind. Now, take out of the formula whether you sit down and all suddenly you look down at pocket aces in your big blind. But I'm just curious if anybody out there has... Oh, here we got a comment already from Greg. He says he's folding junk. And that, to me, that would have been Vince folding there, and he got fortunate, right, with that hand to be able to make that pay. In the meantime, we've got Salute Frank raising it up to 20,000, and Marco does defend his big blind with Queen Jack.
Right now, ace high still in the lead on a dirty board, just 10 high. Both players with paint.
Check.
Oh, check, check. Free card.
Oh, and the jack hits the money card for Salute Frank as both players hit top pair on the turn. 48,000 in the middle. And these guys are deep. A lot of chips behind them.
35,000 is the bet.
35. Oh, if this is a diamond or a spade and it's a low one and it doesn't do an action killer, this could be a pricey hand for Marco.
Call.
He's going to make the call, keep him honest. And that's about the best card Salute Frank could ask for if he goes for more value here. A complete blank, you bet. There's straight draws and flush draws out there. You could actually bet this aggressive and get some great value. Is he going check, check? Oh, left some meat on the bone. That's a perfect card to continue.
Frank.
And right now, Marco didn't show his cards, thinking, I got off easy on that one with that river.
Yeah.
It was a diamond. Neither of the flushes got there. None of the straights got there. Both players bet on the jack, a bet and a call. Yeah, there was a little bit of meat left on the bone there. I think Salute Frank could have easily gotten 65,000. Possibly more.
No?
But like I said, he is playing some really good poker tonight. Up almost to 600K. He made a nice play with eights even earlier where he checked it just knowing that his opponent would c-bet it, came over the top, took it down. I've liked a lot of his plays at this featured table. Salute Frank overall playing some really sharp poker.
I like this answer from TK, and here's why. He says, you know, he'll defend with a wider range, given that scenario where it's a raise and everybody folds around and you're in the big blind, and it's a 2x raise or maybe 2.5 or 3x raise. Terry K says the exception to him would be if he looks down and he's got, you know, a weak king or a weaker king. And I understand that decision, because if you assume the worst, or you assume the scenario is that person under the gun raised with ace king, then you're going up against an uphill battle. In the meantime, we've got an all-in with Jack 10 of clubs for Dave. Vince is also going to push in with ace king. Salute Frank waiting in the wings with ace jack of hearts in the big blind, and he has both of these players covered. What will be his decision? Got to believe he's going to think about this, or at least ask for a count. Nope. He's going to let those two duke it out. He's going to get out of the way with that ace jack.
And
So it's going to be heads up.
little fireworks.
And it's going to be Dave's all-in moment here for Flight 1A. 30 players remaining, playing down to 16. Just a featured table here for a few hours tonight.
If you're all in with Jack 10 and you get called and you see Ace King, you're not heartbroken over it. You know you're alive. You hit multiple boards, but ooh, right there, both players get a piece of it. Still Ace King in the lead, and it holds.
And a good
Dave
fold there
eliminated.
from Salute Frank.
Yeah, nice hand for Vince. Vince is going to be up to 292,000. Back in the game, officially. Almost 300K in front of him. Just double checking, make sure the chips are correct. Good job.
Well, and so I'm on here quoting TK for some poker strategy, and then he comes back with his typical 5-3. You beat everything. You know that, TK?
Small line for 5.
29 players remain, and a couple more players, and we will get this table balanced out. This is a feature table of the 4 remaining tables of Flight 1A. Action resumes tomorrow morning with a satellite, and that is a turbo, basically, $200 or $130 buy-in. And then our 1 o'clock start time for Flight 1C. And then another satellite tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Plenty of opportunities here to get in under the $600 buy-in by qualifying, getting a qualifying seat through a satellite.
These 2 hands aren't what you call premium, Vic.
Nope.
But somehow we get 3 of a kind out of it. Not going to get paid off here.
No.
Actually, that's about the only way. If you check and your opponent puts on his bluffing shoes. Third spade might throw a little feeler bet out there.
10,000 is the bet.
5 and 10,000 are the blinds. Quick fold. Salute Frank. Keeps on grinding, adding to his stack. 29 players left. Close to the final 3.
John Coffey says there's too many variables to answer your question properly.
I actually
Do you think maybe
kind of
his
agree.
grandson snuck in while he was asleep and typed that in for him?
So, Vic, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I actually love the question that you had.
Yes.
It's great for discussion.
Yeah.
I like John Coffey's answer
I know.
just as much because
I know.
there are nights
Yeah.
where I really do think it really depends on how your night's going with the big blind question. Because there's just nights where you are hitting your suited connectors, even your suited gappers, your premium hands, and I'm going to expand my range. And then there's certain nights where you might even be up in chips, but it's one of those times where you're only winning like one big hand an hour, but you're still getting the job done, but you're getting there differently. And you're just staying out of trouble. You're not letting your stat get blinded away, basically, by calling these little raises with mediocre hands that are never hitting, and you're just not feeling it. I think it's a day-by-day basis. If you've played a lot of tournaments in your lifetime, you kind of just go with the flow. You see how you're running that day. Because there's certain days I'm defending my big blind a lot more than the previous tournament that I played. Most of mine are just one-day tournaments, so I don't, have a lot of experience playing multi-days. Can't speak on that, but that's just my opinion. Kind of just go with the flow, see how you're running, and make adjustments. But I do like when the blinds get bigger, the tight aggressive approach. And if you even want to loosen up pre-flop when the blinds get bigger, if you have the chips to do it, I always appreciate that strategy. I think it puts your opponents in a little bit of stress.
Jeremy hits a queen now, and Marco going to put a feeler bet out here, and I think that's going to make Jeremy very happy.
Like happy, happy, joy, joy?
Happy, happy, joy, joy, unless for some reason he's picking up or he's putting Marco on a bigger hand. But nope, he is happy, and he is going to make the call.
Oh, and I do want to give a shout out to my wife Judith for tuning in. I know those eyes on the message board. And a whiff on the river. Jeremy H. just, I know he's had a couple hands he's had to concede to, but not many. He definitely, since this live stream has taken off on this day 1A, just been making all the right moves. And wow, Marco is all in.
Putting the pressure on here. This
with the flush hitting. Wow, he's getting a count. And you got to admit, with that third club out there, that is intimidating with just for that much with Queen Jack. But he is contemplating this. Big hand brewing right here, folks. This is almost a hero call. You are only beating a complete bluff normally when you have Queen Jack with that type of board. And that's what he's against right now.
Going to take a little inventory here. Counts out the chips that he needs to make the call. Looks down at what he's going to have left.
The one thing I wonder if he picked up on, Marco has not been just shoving like this, though. It's definitely a change in his betting patterns. Do you think this is the one time that you just put a player on a bluff? He's been a little aggressive, don't get me wrong, but it's mostly been slightly bigger than normal, but not an all-in.
And Jeremy also asked the dealer to spread the stack out, the pot out, so he can get a better feel.
I mean, normally this is screaming king high, ace high, flush, or a complete bluff. There's no in between. And he makes the call!
Wow.
He makes the call!
Man.
What a poker play, folks. Jeremy H. playing for first place. I think everyone at the table has to be given him congratulations. That is a tough spot.
And the first real show of emotion from Jeremy H. I mean, he's been pretty stoic for the most part, but that was a big call, and he knows it, and that puts him pretty close to being in the 1 million club.
Well, Vic, if you're wrong, you're criticizing yourself. You're getting criticized by people because the third club came out there, or anything. Even just your kicker being a jack isn't the best. It's very mediocre. But if you're right, you look like a genius. And right now, Jeremy H. is a genius. 969,000, close to $1 million in front of him. That was my favorite hand of the day by far.
Yeah.
Excellent play by Jeremy.
Very excellent play.
And I think we might be breaking this table, and that will be end
Yes.
of. What a way to go out on our first day one of our $1 million guaranteed tournament with a call like that for all the marbles.
Yeah.
And now he has close to $1 million in chips going forward. You can check out the results of the final chip counts on our Facebook page or our website, folks, if you're interested to see what happened after this went off air. Day 1B is going on right now, and we will be on YouTube tomorrow giving another great day of action in this great poker tournament.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to continue to bring this kind of action to you, which is why we've decided to set this format up the way it is. We're going to be here every night now in the same type of format. And just to prove that we're live, I'm going to pinch him.
Ow.
Now, he and I are live, but we're
faked it.
bringing you some previously recorded, and it's just great poker action.
Yes.
Give you a feel for what's going on here at the Reserve for the $1 million prize pool guarantee.
It's 9:19 right now. Look at my phone, folks. You see the 9:19. Look at your clock. Myself and Vic are calling this live with you guys, and like I said, the most consecutive days on our YouTube channel that we're bringing poker to you viewers out there.
Pretty exciting.
And thanks again for just welcoming us in your homes and letting us entertain you. Hopefully you found it great. And we'll be back in just 24 hours.
Absolutely. And as always, please be safe.
Take care.